You know what I love? I love when people who just started a social media account like 12 months ago slide into my DMs like it's nothing. You look at their account, created April 2001. Huh, sounds legit, sounds legit. See, now, instead of rhetorically asking someone, do you think I was born yesterday? We now have to ask, do you think I think you were born yesterday? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the World According to Kyle podcast. How are you doing, everybody? And I brought this up because I noticed a uptick in my DMs from random people who were born a few months ago, or who started using social media a few months ago. I've been noticing an uptick in my DMs from these random people, and I'm wondering right now if it has anything to do with the OnlyFans porn ban, and perhaps there's some cause and effect there. I haven't quite looked into it that deeply, but I would just like to say, I think in the future that I think these companies, by going too hard to the censorship route, are going to end up screwing themselves in the end, because we're just going to get more and more desensitized to violence and sexuality, that the next company that will succeed and overtake these companies that are in existence will be the ones who are just willing to not censor themselves just a little bit more. So as far as the OnlyFans thing goes, if you can make money off of it, then fine. It's all right. I don't know why we got to play the moral high ground here. I mean, it's definitely better than a girl going out and playing the streets for 4 hours, between 12 and 4 a.m. or something. Okay, it's all right. I don't use OnlyFans for porn or anything, so it's fine. But I mean, if people make money doing it, there are worse things that you can be doing. So I just think that the general direction of social media and going into the direction of censorship and restriction is just going to end up screwing the sites in the long run, in favor of the next site that does the exact same thing as them, except it's willing to have its users have more freedom with what they're both posting and consuming. So that was my quick rant on the intro in the state of technology and social media era. Now, normally what the main structure of the show is to do a first segment of news and a second segment where I go into sports. But this one is going to be a little bit different because, you smell that? You smell that? Football is in the air. Football is in the air, folks, and I could not be more excited. So I'm going to switch things up a little on account of, football on the horizon. And we're going to start with the World According to Kyle Sports. TWA2K Sports. Let's get it. Okay. Well, we're gonna get a few of the side topics out of the way before we finally dip into our first sets of bets and our first sets of lines and our first sets of preseason analysis from the NFL. We'll get some of the other sports out of the way first. Just a quick touch up on them. All that we need to do, because there are things we need to be talking about other than football. So let's go get that out of the way, and we can have a good time shooting the shit. Shooting the shit this Sunday afternoon, mind you, with some football. Okay, so first lineup is I want to kind of play UFC matchmaker a little bit. Now, this could be just a complete pipe dream, but I think this would be Dana White, heavy load meme of, like, the century, okay? So, I was thinking, Volkanovski and Ortega are going to be fighting at the end of September for UFC 266. Now, I am anticipating an Ortega win based on how he was looking. Now, playing matchmaker ahead into the future, how would this sound? Ortega versus fucking Holloway for the belt. Oh my god. The thing is, I thought Holloway won the second match against Volkanovski. This match with Ortega probably shouldn't even be happening, but Ortega coming out looking like a world beater his last outing has put the UFC world on absolute notice, and he's a type of guy who can go toe to toe with a Volkanovski and come out ahead. So I'm really rooting for that to happen. I would love to see that happen, because Holloway versus Ortega. If Brian Ortega is the type of fighter that we seen just fucking style on zombie like that, if he is that type of guy, then the Holloway and Ortega fight would just it is like a it's everything like Conor fans want in the Conor fights, but like UFC, real UFC guys, like that would be something to behold. And just regarding the Poirier situation, how he wants to fight Diaz, is like, I don't think that's a fight you want to see, but in the same circumstance, I really don't. I guess I don't mind Poirier fucking milking what he's got as kind of like a not a middle finger, but kind of like turning the other cheek to the way the MMA media has been regarding promoting of its superstars. I think maybe that's a good way for him to like subtly dig at how the UFC fixes matches, or not fixes meaning the fixes in, but how they align fighters to fight against each other. Not that they're fixing the the actual matches. Don't get me twisted here. But how they're setting the matches up, and how they're promoting the fighters and promoting the wrong people, and not giving enough spotlight to giving the spotlight to the ones with the loudest mouths instead of the one. So I see that, and I'm just hoping it won't last more than a couple fights before Poirier will have to fight someone serious. I don't mind him taking like a 1 or 2 fight glory run of just trotting it out and styling on former UFC greats. That's fine, and Poirier has definitely earned his spot at doing that. So I mean, I don't think you can really hate it. It'll be interesting to see a lot of these matchups, how they end up playing out, and certainly the Gon and Ngannou will be a big part of what's going on with the UFC's heavyweight division. going forward as well. So yeah, not too much on UFC. We kind of haven't had any real major matchups. We're waiting on the Ortega Holloway, or sorry, the Ortega and Volkanovski fight. We're waiting on. Kind of that's the next real major UFC stepping stone that I'm most interested in. Now switching over to the NBA and just a couple quick things. Like, I know I shat on the NBA, how it's structured a little bit last time around with like the point structure. That in my mind comes second to the most significant problem that the NBA has right now, which is manufactured non-parity in the NBA, manufactured non-parity in a sports league in general. How the economics and the dynamic of how the NBA is structured. It's like how you say football is a league of parity, and the NFL is a league of parity, that it's able to, like, if you go 2-14, well, last year, so I guess it would be 2-15 this year. So you go like 2-15 this year in the NFL. With those draft picks, you're expected to be able to produce a winning team in a couple years, because you are getting those draft picks. In the NBA, you could pick first-round draft picks 5 years in a row. It won't really matter, because your players are just gonna get poached from you by higher preferred destinations of the NBA players, and whoever's superstar at that time. Now, Giannis, maybe he threw a monkey wrench into that, and some players are going to want to go out in Milwaukee. But I think I think that overall is like, I can say my differences with like the technical aspects of how basketball is played, but that's just how it's to be played. If basketball chooses to be played in a way that rewards the easiest points, rewards easy points to get more than it should, by account of probability and how hard it is to get, then that's what they want to. That's what they want to do. Fine. That's the game. That is how it is set up. But I would. I think at the core, if you want to talk about like, okay, let's just. What is the core issue that's because the game has set up just the way it's set up, and how you're able to exploit it is at your physical and mental ability. But I would say the main issue with the NBA right now is non-parity, and going too far in a direction where teams feel like it's pointless for them to even own, other than the fact that it's making money. I mean, the purpose of owning a team is because you think you can win. And if your system is good, if your farm system is good, if you're developing good, and you're unable to win just because of the setup, then I think that's an issue at its core. And I think that's gonna, if there wasn't as much this would be more of an issue if there wasn't as much money in the NBA, and the players are paid egregious amounts because of the dynamics of the NBA, and that you only need 20-man rosters. You don't need like 52-man rosters like they have in the NFL. So you can pay veteran role players like $20 million a year, and you can't do that in the NFL. But the number one issue with the NBA right now is non-parity, and like if you don't feel like your team can win based on its geographical location, that should drive ownership away. And honestly, that's part of the reason why I love the NFL, is like it's a year-to-year league. Even though Tom Brady has been dominating, it's never been secondary, any sort of huge secondary threat all the time. It's always been different sets of teams that have caught fire and almost had the right formula, but wasn't quite there, And like with the NBA, it's just not like that. And I think I think at the end of the day, if the ultimate goal of your players, if the large majority of the people around you isn't to win an NBA championship, which it isn't, because money and location come first. And so can we all agree that is a higher priority than winning an NBA championship for a lot of players, right? Like, I mean, I don't think I'm going out on a limb there. I think you can use a lot of evidence to support that. So right now, even if you feel it's 50-50, that half the players want to genuinely win the championship, half the players want to get as paid as they can and be in a nice location. Even if it's at half and half, then that's a problem, because I don't think you're able to have a functioning sports league and have that not be winning a championship not be the overwhelming desire of everybody involved in it. And for better or for worse, that's why I do not stack LeBron with greatest of all times, with other greatest of all times, because I think every other greatest of all time left the sport in a better situation. That the sport overall was better for them having been involved with it. They dominated. But I think that the sport was better off for them having been involved in it. Now, I'll use the following examples. Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky was a GOAT, a greatest of all time, and the sport of hockey was tremendous after him. He created 5 to 10 years of amazing hockey with how he played the game and how he revolutionized the game, and passing first and setting people up and becoming a dominant passer, and just being such a threat on the ice from both a passing and shooting. He really made sure that the sport that he gave his all into the sport, so that people would follow him, so that the sport would be better off. Okay, Gretzky, a GOAT, because of that shit. Tiger Woods, another greatest of all time, and I don't think you can deny that he was so great that the sport of golf afterwards had become such a reflection of what he put into the game, and such a positive reflection back from the other the other golfers that were undoubtedly influenced by Tiger and Tiger's game, and they tried to be like Tiger. Jordan, fucking same thing. Tom Brady, same thing. The game of NFL is amazing because Tom Brady was no, fuck you, you're not knocking me off my mantle for so long. And now look at the look at like the levels that quarterbacks have stepped up to. Like I've never felt better about like the amount of talent in the NFL as I do right now. Like it feels like we are really hitting a amazing point in talent and level of play in the NFL, and like that's Tom Brady. What can we say about the things we can say about, let me put it this way, the things we can say about Michael Jordan and about him and his GOAT status, I don't think we can say the same thing about LeBron, and I don't think the game of NBA is better because of LeBron. I think like he turned it into something that is similar to soccer, where you're trying to draw fouls and trying to trying to play off the referees and have it be a more of a ballet than a fucking than an athletic competition. And it's I don't think, like, a lot of people say okay, it's Michael and LeBron, like, and I don't think that, and I think I put Kobe ahead of LeBron in ranking just how great they are and wanting to take over in that moment and championships won, and maybe in the next 4 years LeBron can catch up to the amount of championships Kobe has, but I put him ahead of there. And I think that we're missing, but people feel the way they feel about LeBron because he's been telling them he's the greatest for ever since he's came out of high school and into the NBA. Okay, and so I mean, when you set those expectations up for yourself, I don't think it's unreasonable to, and I've been saying this for a while now, and people have been calling me out for it, but I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Kobe was a greater player than LeBron overall. If their careers ended, say if LeBron never played another basket, I say, I would put Kobe ahead of LeBron if LeBron never played again. And he's 36, so that's not unreasonable to think of. Or that's not an unreasonable position to take, because overall he's not the greatest. Give Kawhi or KD or Giannis, all these guys, he's not miles ahead of these guys. These guys are very on level with him, very on point with him, and maybe the NBA, maybe I'm wrong, and the NBA will come out after this better. I really don't see it. Like, I see it's a lot more the NBA's gotten a lot more like America's Next Top Model than it is compared to football. It's gotten more about like a fucking popularity contest than anything when basketball is rough. But maybe the technological advancements happen where we can exactly deduce like when somebody is getting fouled and when they're blocker charge type of where the it's a microsecond faster where we're able to deduce that in real time. Then who knows, maybe, but for right now, for the short-term future, it's a little bit of a shit show, and it's just kind of silly, like when it's just super team, there's like 2 or 3 teams that can possibly win the championship at the end of the day. There has to be a better way. Okay, so enough of that. We got pigskins in the air, boys and girls. We have football back, and it's been glorious. First of all, salute to a fallen soldier, J.K. Dobbins. I have money against the Ravens. In the last podcast, I bet a guy on. So basically, Ravens can't win cannot be present in a Super Bowl for the next 2 years, and I win $500. Now, you'd never want to go out, you never want to win because of an injury, because I don't think that that wasn't the reason why I made the bet. I made the bet not because some injury is going to happen and switch it. I made the bet because I thought that they would not beat the other teams in the AFC to get to the Super Bowl if it happened. And you never like to see it go out that way. I hope hope JK comes back from his ACL and is fine. And they can get a replacement. It's not out of the realm of possibility just because J.K. Dobbins is out. I know that's not why Lamar fans think the Baltimore Ravens are going to the Super Bowl in the next 2 years. But it's definitely a blow because he did look promising for at least the near-term run game from the Baltimore Ravens. So salute to fallen soldier J.K. Dobbins. Now, since I'm a Bengals fan, we will have Bengals talk happening on the steady. And now the Bengals are going to be playing today. As I record this, it's Sunday, August 28th. Right now, it is 2:30 p.m. and the Bengals are Eastern Standard Time, the time zone where most people are paying attention. And the Bengals are going to be playing at 4 p.m. And so this would be the first time Joe Burrow hits the field since his ACL MCL injury, and we're gonna see how he looks like. I just wanted to say regarding Ja'Marr Chase, that I don't know if you guys seen the meme where they had Ja'Marr Chase when he got selected, with the 5th overall pick in this past draft. They had him slowly morphing into John Ross. John Ross being the infamous bust from the 2019 draft season, where since he drafted him, I want to say like 9th overall, after he ran a 4.22 and fucked up his hammy while he was doing it during the NFL Combine. Not a great sign, I would say. If someone sprains their hammy trying to go to ham at the NFL Combine, that maybe pick and choose your spots. If you run a 4.25 at the Combine and don't fucking leave your hamstring at the 20-yard line, that would be a better plan of action. I'm just saying. I mean, right? Go hard, show what you're working with, but and I can't believe they still drafted him after that point. Anyways, let's not. I'm a Bengals fan, and part of why I'm a Bengals fan is because I love Bengals ball. I love air raid. I love air attack, and you know what, the Ja'Marr Chase pick, as much as I liked Penei Sewell. Full disclosure, I wanted Kyle Pitts to fall to us. I think that if Kyle Pitts fell to us, I would have took Pitts. But I do not mind. I think between Chase and Sewell, it was a pretty big toss-up. And now that is since he taken that pick, that is Bengal ball. That is having just the high flyingest wide receiving core. And if you think about it, if you got Penei Sewell, then you would have say Dwayne Eskridge or what's his name, the guy on the New York Jets. I forget his name right now. The Elijah Moore. From Ole Miss. So you could have Sewell and Elijah Moore or Chase and the next offensive tackle that you felt was good, and I don't mind that. That's a Bengals ball pick. That is a having a super stacked wide receiving core, and work on and work on your O line, work on developing your O line up, because you've got a couple guys there. You got Billy Price and Quentin Spain, and now you got Riley Reef and Carmen, and you got something to build off of there. You just gotta build off of it and push it back to a direction that's just respectable, and then and then we are going to attract those next level free agents if they think we're only a offensive tackle or a center away from being an elite caliber team. You're going to attract that. So overall, I do think it was the right move, and you know what, the Bengals receivers are cool with it. Normally, could you imagine if there was a legit 1 and 2 wide receiver and they just draft another wide receiver? But from all that I heard from it's Tyler Boyd especially, he just sounds like he's so he knows that the way he's talking is he knows that it's better off for them to have a dynamic wide receiving core instead of having 2 1-2s and then a not so good option for the number 3. Now, am I worried about the drops? No, not really. Drops come and go, and what you would worry about more is if his route running did not look good, and his route running looked fantastic. He was leaving guys in the dust. He was he was dusting Jesse Bates at some practices. It was just his drops. Hey man, get in front of Jugs machine. Just have Burrow throw some to you. Maybe you're used to Burrow. He hasn't been playing in a fucking year. Remember, he took COVID off. It's not just gonna come back right away. So even though I might have taken Sewell, I don't know. If the decision was up to me in the end, I probably would have taken Chase. I would because I wanted the weapon anyways, and I think it's easier to make up talent and play up talent on in the tackle position than it is to play up talent in the wide receiver position. So far, I'm not even sounding the alarms. No alarms are sound right now on Jamar Chase. He looked fine. I am interested to see Burrow take some reps and see how his timing is and everything coming up. That'll be coming up in another hour or so. I wanted to make sure I had enough time to record the pod and then sit down and at least watch Burrow's first reps. But I just got done watching Trevor Lawrence, who looked pretty good. He had 2 touchdowns, one to Visca, and one to Farrell Cooper, and actually looked. He had a couple shaky starts, but was actually looking very good this preseason. So what did he go? He went 11 for 12, 139 and 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. 11 for 12. Legit, he was throwing. He was throwing 30-yarders like most quarterbacks throw a 15-yard out. It is not. His arm strength was really on display this time around. So that was good to see. Can't lie. I cannot lie about that, because I do have him one of my fantasy teams. So one of my fantasy teams, I've been selling players from this fantasy team, and I developed all, and I just got draft picks. So like it's a dynasty league. So I ended up with a bunch of draft picks, needless to say. So this year in my dynasty league, I had the first, the fourth, and the seventh pick in the first round. So because of the draft picks I accumulated from selling my guys. So I ended up trading for the first with a couple of with a guy who had the first. I traded 2 firsts and Jerry Jeudy for the first overall pick, which I took Trevor Lawrence. Then it goes number 2 takes Najee Harris, number 3 takes Trey Lance. So I take Jamal Williams because big fan of the talent. I think he's poised for a workhorse role. He showed everything you want to see while he was at UNC, and I think his average draft position was like 7 or 8, but I just think he's the best running back in the class. So that's why I took him. And honestly, to be truthful, my running backs are very. That's the one position of weakness that I have on my fantasy team, which I'll share for you my entire fantasy team in a second after we go over this first round. So I took Jamal Williams. The next pick was Jamar Chase. The next pick was Kyle Pitts, and so it comes back to me. Now, I already have Joe Burrow, but this is a 2-quarterback league. So I took Zach Wilson because, Zach Wilson's the number 2 overall graded quarterback. The Jets had absolutely no reservations in announcing him as their pick, and they didn't get pushed off of it. And you know what? In watching... in rewatching Zach Wilson's tape at BYU, I can definitely see why. The ability to make the throws and the off-balance throws, and he reminds me of like a bigger Russell Wilson. Like he can make the throws Russell Wilson can make out of the pocket, can scramble just for enough. Like I definitely thought I kind of agreed with the consensus that he was the second best prospect in this draft next to Lawrence from a tools and mindset and arm standpoint. I definitely thought he was in. So I went and took Zach Wilson. Now, it's only a 10-team league, so it went Fields, ETN, and Mac Jones for the rest of the picks. But I want to share with you my team right now. So, quarterback, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. I also have 6 quarterbacks in max spot in a 2-quarterback league. I also have Jordan Love, Teddy Bridgewater, and Mason Rudolph. So I all of a sudden, picture me without Lawrence or Wilson, with just Burrow, Rudolph, Bridgewater, Love. That's not great. So this draft, I really upgraded my quarterback situation. Now at running back was where I needed my Jamal Williams or Javonte Williams for my team, because right now I got Montgomery, Swift, Williams, Javon Williams, and my other guys on the bench right now are J.D. McKissick, Josh Kelly, DJ Dallas, and I drafted Trey Sermon this draft. So definitely my running back is not my strong point. Now with my wide receivers, A.J. Brown, DJ Chark, Deebo Samuel. I have Robbie Anderson. I just picked up Terrence Marshall in the draft also. I couldn't believe anybody have him. For tight ends, I have Cole Kmet and Irv Smith. And for defense, I have the 49ers D and the Washington football team D. So my team is just so young money right now. I am so ready to take over my league. And I think I'm just going to, it's kind of how it worked out. I would have loved to have Pitts, but I don't mind hoarding quarterbacks either, because like if Zach Wilson, Burrow, and Lawrence, if all of them kind of are good, I could shop one of those guys for a running back easily, because it's a two quarterback league, and if you want to win, you have to have two quarterbacks. And a lot of these guys that are showing promise right now, like think about it. How fast it can turn around. Like Kyler Murray, okay, he looked okay. What if he has a bad year this year? People are going to be saying, oh, Arizona needs a new quarterback. Either that, or they'd be saying they need a new head coach. But if Murray genuinely plays bad, then it's a lot more fickle than you think, and you need the right guys who are going to be there for a while. So I'm interested to see how my league plays out, and how my picks played out. So selling off a lot of my high level players for draft picks, and being able to select my own guys. So we'll see how that works. I just had a complete sell off, a complete tank mode, if you will. And I'm hoping to rebuild this team to something competitive, right? So that was my dynasty team. Now, just real quickly, before we go into some bets, we're gonna give some plays. Give some plays to you guys that I'm sprinkling a little on. I got my fucking Periscope out. I'm like checking, got my eye on week 1, and smashed a few bets, tickled a few bets in, and that was today actually, before I just recorded. So I'm gonna share those with you, and one of them is a future, and then the rest we're going to kind of go down a game-by-game basis of the Week 1 betting lines. But, excuse me. But before that, I just wanted to get into a real nit that I had to pick with how media works in the NFL, because I think that a lot of people are getting the Denver situation very wrong, and a lot of people are throwing shade at Fangio, or whoever makes the decisions, the final decisions in Denver, because for one simple reason, because he is rolling with Bridgewater instead of Judy. Now, I know you're going to say, yeah, I have Bridgewater on my No, it's not about that, because I have startable quarterbacks outside of him. But I think that Denver's set of goals are not necessarily the set of goals of the team that is tanking. So, they have everything. Not everything, you don't want to say that. They have a lot. They have great role players and great positional players, and they don't have a quarterback, right? But people are saying that they should lose more. They should want to lose more to gain draft capital to get a better team for the eventual quarterback, whether it is drafted or whether it is a trade, which it is most likely going to be a trade. So if it is most likely going to be a trade, and there's a ton of talent at the NFL's at the elite level of the NFL that may be seeking new contracts and unable to win at their previous locations. So so Denver's set of goals should not be to tank. Their goals should be to prove to whether it's Aaron Rodgers or whoever, Russell Wilson, whoever, whether their set of goals is to prove to an elite quarterback that they are a team that quarterback can win a Super Bowl with, and attract him to their location. That is what Denver is trying to do. So I think that starting lock would not help that. You would lose more. You would gain draft capital, but their team's already stacked. What do you need? What do you need draft capital for? Another quarterback? Okay, but what if the quarterback class? I don't know anybody that's ranking the quarterback class very highly. So at the best, you're taking shots in the dark on Spence Rattler and Sam Howell. Like, I do not value this quarterback class as greatly as I did this prior quarterbacks class. So even if you had have the first overall pick, is that going to be better than having the 15th overall pick this year? No. In my opinion, no. Because I think the 3 or 4 quarterbacks that have went before the top tier of next year will be better quarterbacks than the potential number 1 draft pick in 2022's NFL draft. Now, could I be swayed? Yes, I was swayed onto Joe Burrow's side when there was no previous evidence that he was going to be the type of player that he was, and I ended up drafting him for my team. So could somebody come out and really shake things up and get me to switch my opinion on that? Yes. But as of right now, no. I do not think that that having a high draft pick next year, if you're looking for a quarterback, is necessarily what you would want, as opposed to attracting a elite level NFL player to your destination. So good old Teddy Two Gloves, not make much mistakes, not have very low turnovers, maybe not have that super upside, but he's gonna show the capabilities of that team, because when he was with Carolina, they were keeping up in games. They weren't able to push it to that next level, but also their defense wasn't as good, and they didn't have the type of skill position players around him. So for say Denver gets to 10 wins this year with Teddy Two Gloves, does that not say more than going 50-50 with Drew Lock, or 1 game under 500 with Drew Lock? If Teddy wins 10 or 11 games, I guarantee you an Aaron Rodgers is gonna value that a lot more, because Tom Brady is like, oh wow, hey, this Tampa team still went 8-8 with Jameis Winston basically handing the ball off to the other team's secondary 3 times a game. So I think that the media is kind of painting this the wrong way, that I think they want boom or bust, or they want volatility, but I don't think Denver that is the I don't think that's the what the energy Denver is trying to put out there. If Denver can just perform solidly, I think they have a good chance of getting Rodgers in there, or another elite prospect, another elite player who's established, who can't win with his team in the current situation. Okay, so I went over my dynasty team already. Let's do you were aware, based on how the Super Bowl ended, if you were listening to one of my prior podcasts, that I won money off of a futures bet last year that I had with Tampa Bay, how I ended up getting the Bucks at 21-1. Now, I made another futures bet. It's not as much of a lock, I don't think, as the other one. Like, I was very confident in the not very as confident as you can be in a 20 to, in a 20 to 1 bet. I definitely thought Brady would give me a run for my money. I did do another futures bet I want to share with you guys. I took one team, and I took that team to win the Super Bowl. And I just thought that, given the circumstances, that it's the best value for money bet that I can currently think of right now in the NFL, because I actually think, like, part of my reasoning with Brady last year was that he, with COVID and no training camps and a rushed season, that was going to be very, like, consistency, and Brady's consistency, I thought, would rule out, and it did. But I think things are different now. I think that the NFL is starting to catch up, and I can see a lot of teams winning this year. I just think that the best pound for pound, dollar on dollar value for your money right now is the bet that I took, and that's at 27 to 1. I took the Los Angeles Chargers to win the Super Bowl. I just did a little $75 bet for 2025 coming back my way if they win the Super Bowl. Obviously, there will be some hedging opportunities if they're in the Super Bowl. Step-by-step process. We'll see how they look. We'll see how they look week 1. But I think I just think they had a lot of bad injury luck last year on the defensive side. I liked a lot of how they looked preseason. I like the energy that they were running with. I think that the coaching change will do dividends in the Chargers, and I think they could where I see the talent is there, that they could be legitimately like a solid coach away from being able to put those ingredients together in just the right way. If they get a little bit better injury luck, because they're one of the teams that I think has an antidote to the Kansas Cities and the Baltimores of the world, that with the defense that they've amassed there, that I think at 27 to 1, that's just the best value bet for your money, because if Justin Herbert looks anywhere near where he was last year, and they don't have as much devastating injuries as they did last year, that they're really going to take a step forward with the coaching. So we went and laid down some money on that. So we're laid 75 on the Chargers to win the next Super Bowl. And I'll update you on maybe I played a few more futures after week 1. I don't know. We'll keep updating on that. I'll keep giving my plays, so in case you guys want to tail them or whatever. Now, let's go over some of the week 1 point spreads as they are currently sitting, and let's see if we can find any value there. So let's just pull this up here. Sorry, guys. Wait a minute. So the first game will be Tampa Bay and Dallas. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be at home. I got that on my book at a -8 for Tampa Bay. Now, a lot of this line, I don't have anything bet right now. But this is a play-on game for me. If news is coming out that Dak might not be there, or if he is not going to be 100%, then I'm looking to jump on Tampa Bay anywhere under -10. So keep an eye on that. I guess the over-under right now is sitting at 50.5. I don't really have a play on that. If Dak is playing and Dak is healthy, I might even lean to Dallas plus the points and over 50.5. It's a lot of points, but keep an eye on the news there. I wouldn't jump on anything quite right away. But if Dak is playing and Brady's going to eat that defense alive, Dak should be able to do enough with the talent that they have to score, 20, 25 points, and Tampa scores 30, 31, boom, over. If Dak plays and Dak's healthy, I like the over 50.5 more than I like the side. If Dak either is not playing or is not 100%, then I like Tampa Bay anywhere under -10. That was a Thursday. That's a TNF on September the 9th. Now, September 12th, we got the Eagles and the Falcons, and Atlanta's at home, laying 3.5 to Philly. I don't really have this game isolated as a huge play. I would lean Atlanta. I'd lean Atlanta. Just think they'll be able to do enough at home to win by... they will win. They might win by 3. They could win by 4-7 also. Coin flip, gun to my head, I'd take Atlanta laying the 3.5. Next up, Steelers at Bills. We got Buffalo in at -6.5. Over under of 50.5. This one I do not have. I do not have a strong take on. Pittsburgh probably going to be healthy. I could see Pittsburgh giving Buffalo a tight game. I'll take the points there. I'll take the 6.5 if you force me to make a pick. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Cincinnati is getting 3.5 points. Now, a lot of this will depend on how Joe Burrow looks coming at 4. If Joe Burrow looks solid and looks like it looks like nothing is bothering him, I wouldn't have a tough time taking the 3.5. It could be a 3-point game. They're going to be able to put points up on Minnesota's soft-ass defense. They're at home. Yeah, if all things look good with Joe, not my strongest play again, but I wouldn't mind taking the points there in that situation. Next up, we got the San Francisco 49ers at Detroit, the Detroit Lions. San Francisco's -7.5. That is one of the plays that I like. I like San Fran -7.5. They're a very well-established team at this point. Not much to say. Lions are on the up and up. Could Lions give them a tight one? Yes, of course. But San Fran's healthy. They have Jimmy G starting. They should. They seem to be clicking on all cylinders. Are back healthy again. So, yeah, one of my stronger plays of the week 1 slate
will be the San Francisco 49ers minus 7.5. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals visiting Tennessee. The Titans are a minus 3-point favorite over the Arizona Cardinals with an over-under of 51.5. This is close. This is really close. I would probably take the points there with Arizona. It's not one of my favorite plays. Anytime you got A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, Derrick Henry on the offensive side, that has got to be a frightening prospect for any defense. So, yeah, it's not my favorite play, but I think Arizona can keep it tight. They're also healthy too. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks facing the Indianapolis Colts. That is also a 1 o'clock game. That's at Indy. Seattle Seahawks are minus 1.5. This was off the board at my site. I would play on Seattle. Looks as if even if Wentz is in there, he might not be 100%. Even though they're at home, I would if you can find it at your book, I would bet Seattle. That would be a strong play. My book does not have it, unfortunately. So it's not one of my official plays, but I'm probably going to find somewhere I can bet that before the NFL season starts. Even if Wentz is in, I doubt he will be 100%. Next up, we got the LA Chargers taking on the Washington football team, which when I got it, it was -1 for the Chargers. It's went to -1.5 now. I like the Chargers. I mean, I did take them in my futures play to win the Super Bowl, so some consistency is nice, right? Yes, it would be weird if I took the football team after such a proclamation. But yeah, so that is one of my plays. That one of my stronger plays is the Chargers over the football team, visiting the football team -1.5. Next up, we have, and also I'm looking at the line, the total right now, 44.5. That I might have to play on that over. But for now, just Chargers. I do like that. I do kind of like that over under. Okay, so the next game up is the New York Jets versus the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are -4.5 favorites. I bought the Jets at +4. So it could still be the same on my book. I'm just going by the ESPN lines right now. So -4 or +4 or +4.5. Take it with the Jets. I think I've seen enough from Zach Wilson to know what he's capable of, and I think Jets really revamped the team. They got a great offensive line. They finally got someone they can trust in the backfield. A little bit better wide receivers, plus a decent defense. I think they can give Carolina problems. I'll take the 4.5, but they could win the game outright. I might have to make a play on the money line for the Jets also. Like, who knows if Wilson is as good as he's been in the preseason in regular NFL games, then this +4, +4.5 against the Panthers is going to seem like a gift. That's all I can say. Next on the docket, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars getting hosted by the Houston Texans. Texans are a +3 dog in one of the more confusing lines of the week. 'Cause Texans, regardless of their quarterback situation, have more talented roster than the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would say. They have weapons. They have, they should. So it seems like a situation where it's the wrong team favored at this point to me. So I'm just gonna go with Houston. Say that Jacksonville has some growing pains with the new system they're going to implement, and I don't even to beat Texans, it's not reasonable to expect them to just come out and start being world beaters. It might take some time to gel, even though we just seen Trevor Lawrence had a great game in which he threw 2 touchdowns for the preseason, making all the elite level throws that you would want him to make. But even still, he could still look great, and they just hang around in the game and win by a point or two. So just give me the plus money. I think it could be a tight game. Give me the plus points if it's at 3. Why not? Say Houston keeps it close. So that's one of my stronger plays as well. The next up we got this is finally the 425 game. All these sets previous, besides the first one, which was on the Thursday, were the 1 o'clock on Sundays. So now we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at home. Chiefs at home are laying 6 points to these Browns with an over/under of 53 flat. And the strong play, this game falls into the strong play category for me, and I will be taking Kansas City with a -6. I think maybe this, little too reactionary on the Chiefs O-line, and Mahomes with a full season to rest and recover, and the Chiefs skill position players to rest and recover, and they'll come out gunslinging. They'll beat this spread handily. Not to say that the Browns are an easy victory. I think that the Browns are a dark horse Super Bowl contender this year. They're one of the teams I considered laying some money on, but I do like the Chargers just a little bit better. I do like the quarterback situation a little bit better. So I think Cleveland can still get themselves in the race and get themselves in contention to win a Super Bowl. But right out the gates at home versus Kansas City, I think they will prove a little overwhelming. A little overwhelming for the Brownies just right then and there. So another one of my stronger plays is the Chiefs at -6. If you can get it anywhere under -7, that's golden. Next up, we got another 425 game. It's the Miami Dolphins taking on the New England Patriots. Now, the line is -3 for New England. I don't have a super strong play. Both situations are kind of weird right now. This game's kind of a fade for me. You want to kind of get more information about both these teams. If Mac Jones and Tua play, it's an over/under 45. I might just tickle the under. I guess I would take. I guess I would take the Pats at -3. I wouldn't like it though. I'd probably buy it down to 2.5 and say they win by a field goal. Because with Mac Jones starting, the Miami's defense isn't going to be bad. That's one that I'm not. That I would like more information on both teams and see how they play before. But if you force me to make a pick, I would go New England, buy a half point down, get them at -2.5. If you like the Dolphins, buy a point up and get them at +3.5. Next up, we have the Packers at the Saints. Strong play of mine, Green Bay -3. I'm about it. Just because we've seen Jameis torch the Jacksonville secondary in preseason does not mean that he will be doing the same to Jair Alexander and the rest of the pack. And New Orleans Saints secondary is sufficiently garbage enough for Aaron Rodgers to light it up in hopefully what will be the one of many to come of Aaron Rodgers' farewell Green Bay tour. So I'm taking the Green Bay Packers -3. Next up, we have the Denver Broncos at the New York Giants. Spread for this is Denver -2.5 visiting New York. I like Denver. It's not a good play. It's not like a lock, a super lock by any means. But give me Denver. Teddy Two Gloves. I think he'll do just enough to be able to win this game against New York. I think Denver's secondary is just going to give Daniel Jones fits. Daniel Jones will be making lots of mistakes this game, probably. With Chubb and Miller back at full health, plus the emergence of Surtain and the hopeful emergence of Surtain, their rookie, that Denver could make life a living hell for Daniel Jones. So I guess I'm gonna move this up. This is not a medium play that I do genuinely like Denver this game. It's only -1.5, so that's a play for me also. And the next up is a night game, Chicago at the LA Rams. That's at 8:20 game at LA. The LA Rams are -7.5 point favorites against the Chicago Bears. If Andy Dalton's starting, I would like the Rams -7.5, I guess. Not a super strong play. Chicago's defense is still pretty good. Stafford is getting acclimated to the system. Cam Akers is out. It's going to be it's a lot of points. That's a lot of points for a good defense like Chicago. Jeez. I say fade. Fade that game. That one's too tight. That one's a little too close for comfort. And the last game, we got Baltimore at the Las Vegas Raiders. And we got Baltimore -4.5 point favorites. I think the Ravens get it done here. I think they beat the Raiders by a touchdown or better. So there you have it. That's me going through game for game. Now I did actually make a parlay, so I'm probably going to be betting a lot of these games solo, singly, and betting them game by game. But I just wanted to share the parlay that I just made. I got one super long shot parlay that we're hoping for comes through. So I got a 6-game parlay. We got Packers -3, Chiefs -6, Jets +4, Chargers -1, Texans +3, and San Fran -7.5. 6-game parlay, $45 to win 2017. So best of luck to me. I'm glad that the NFL season is coming back and in full swing. What are your bets? What are you guys making? You guys got any futures bets that you like? Let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, this has been TWA2K Sports. Stay tuned on the other side. We will bring you your real life news on the other side, which usually I do that first and the sports second, but hey, I wanted to switch it up in favor or in respect to the NFL football season just starting and just around the corner. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll put the time links in the description below if you wanted to just watch The World According to Kyle's regular episode for the 7th show. All right, everybody, take care. Good luck. And we're back with the World According to Kyle podcast. Started with the sports report and had to wait a couple days. Here, just let me get my volume fixed a little bit here. And I had to wait a couple days to do my next one. I think I recorded first the sports report on Wednesday, and it isn't, or sorry, Tuesday, and now it's Friday, and we're here to do the regular World According to Kyle episode. This will be on the second half as opposed to the first half normally, which I'm going to leave time descriptions below, so if you're a fan of the normal news / fun talk, then you'll be able to zip right to it. Hope you enjoyed the sports report if you're here for both. The sports reports are going to get a bit longer since NFL is my thing. I like talking about the footballs, so I'm going to give out plays and all that. Right now, as I'm recording, it's 5:30 on a Friday. I am waiting for the UNC game to start. In case you want a little extra nugget. Actually, this isn't even going to be out in time for you to bet it. But I did bet UNC minus 5.5. I believe the line's going up. So hopefully when you're listening to this, I won that bet. But let's get started. Let's get started on the regular TWA2K material. Today, what to start with? Okay, I wanted to start with the Logan Paul stan, and he is a stan, and that is the correct use of the word stan. That is somebody who quit their $100K a year job and went to go bug Logan Paul after his fight, hoping to perhaps get to work in his sex compound where they sign NDAs to anybody who enters there, because, you know, he probably thought that would advance his career, if you know what I mean. And that got me to thinking, that is the perfect use of the word stan to describe the type of person that the guy who when it approached Logan Paul is. That now I see people. The people are so dumb with words right now that it literally makes my mind melt. You'll have to excuse me. I am drinking a beer as I am recording this, fresh off of work and about to go into work tomorrow for a full 6-day work week. So helps me wind down. In case you're wondering, I'm drinking a lovely Stella Artois. You Americans wouldn't know anything about good beer, so you probably don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anybody else, oh man, this is fucking delicious, delicious Primo beer. I like it better than Heineken, by the way. So yeah, that's something that kind of it really irks me a little bit, is people's incorrect use of these words, because they were words and phrases for a reason, and now all of a sudden, like with the word stan, it is starting to mean the opposite of what it was intended for.
such in other examples, like the word literally. Now, literally means the opposite of literal. So so what happened with Logan Paul is that is a stan. That is somebody who comes and bugs a artist, or bugs somebody who has reached elite societal status, and it's not quite a fan, because a fan just appreciates the artist and the artist in and of themselves. A stan is someone who thinks the person who made a life for themselves owes them something, and or wants to work with them, or is constantly bugging them, and that is a correct use of the word stan. It's not to describe, oh, I'm a total Lamar Jackson stan. Okay, you're like, are you trying to follow him around, like get him to like fucking do shit for you and sign autographs and guilt trip him? And no. So stop fucking using words not what they're intended to. Pick up Google, and clearly you don't know what you're saying. You're just trying to use a catchy buzzword to describe something. I'll give you another perfect fucking example of that. The term gaslighting. Now, if you want to know what actual gaslighting is, I recommend you watch the movie Gaslighting, the old school black and white. I know your attention span can't handle anything that's not causing you to have an epileptic seizure from some stupid superhero movie. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard to trudge through that, but give it a chance, and you'll actually understand the correct use of the word gaslighting. It is not a synonym for lying. Gaslighting is not, once again, I repeat, a synonym for lying. You cannot say somebody is trying to lie to you is not somebody trying to gaslight you. Someone trying to misrepresent the truth to you is not somebody trying to gaslight you. Somebody who's trying to gaslight you is telling you a clear falsehood and attempting to either insinuate or tell you directly that you are mentally broken, that something is wrong with your mind, something is wrong with your mind, that you are not seeing this falsehood. It's like okay, I'm recording this into a microphone. It's like I'm and if an example of gaslighting would be, I was like, hey, do you see this here? It's like, this is a sunflower. It's like, I'm actually talking into a sunflower right now. And then the person says, no, that's somewhere. It's like, no, this is a sunflower. And I think, are you okay? Are you all right? Maybe you need to see a doctor. I don't think, like, that's gaslighting in a very loose sense. It's not telling a fib. It's not telling a white lie or an exaggeration or pretending to lie it's not lying or creating a false reality, attempting to convince someone of a false reality. It's only if it's accompanied by that other person, the person who is lying, also attempting to convince the other person that they're psychologically damaged. See, that's the important part of the gaslighting. That's where it is different, and it differentiates from just regular lying. So keep that in mind, folks. I know it might be tempting to not babble off buzzwords, but the reason that they were created was not so that they can be used as euphemisms. The reason they were created was because they describe something that is happening, and just because they sound cool saying doesn't mean you should say them at every. Doesn't mean you can create a different use of the word in order to say it more frequently, which is exactly what is happening with the terms both stan and gaslighting. So, unless you want to sound like a total fucking moron, then, which you are if you use the words these ways, then just fucking cool it and wait for an actual opportunity to use these words, because you're looking pretty stupid when, at least to me, maybe to people who don't understand or don't know any better, they don't give a shit. People. All right. Next on the docket, this is a new segment. we're calling it a segment, anyways. This segment is called "Get That Take Outta Here." All right. So up on so we got a take. We need to whoosh. We need to fucking smash into the fucking bleachers, okay? And that take was Trae Young, a very promising young point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. He had something to say. He was asking on Twitter, he's like, after the Drake album dropped, he's like, does this mean Drake just passed Hove? Insinuating that, is Drake now a better artist than Jay-Z? No. Now, my initial response to this was, now, I don't want to sound like a dick, like I'm a Drake hater or anything. I live in Toronto. Drake does great things for the city. Drake seems like a good person. I don't hate people who, just because they are making money or because they're successful, like, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, because, a pop star sells more albums or their songs are more popular that they are necessarily better. And before, like, the 90s, maybe early 2000s, maybe 80s, that could have been the case, that the popular stuff didn't necessarily mean that just because you were popular it was bad or it was shit. But now, today, you cannot be a good artist. A great artist and be very popular, because it's just if you're a popular artist, it is because you are very watered down, you're very corporate friendly, you don't say things that offend people, you try to placate to the lowest common denominator, you try to offend as little people as possible. So, and that's the opposite of where good art comes from. So So now that I've said all that, like, my initial response was that I don't think that, I think The Motto is the only Drake song that can compare with Jay-Z's, say, top 30, and that's legit. That's a legitimate criticism, or not criticism, but it's a legitimate take. Because I'm not a critic of Drake, but I mean, I think if you think that Drake is on any kind of level with Jay-Z, you're very mistaken and you're very off. And I think you need to listen to some better hip hop. And I really don't know what to tell you at that point. I would not respect your opinion that you listen to you listen to Jay-Z's entire catalog and you listen to Drake's entire catalog and you think that the two are comparable at all. And I'm not the biggest Jay-Z guy either. Like, I think Blueprint and Blueprint 2 were his last like really great albums. The Black Album was like the start of the denouement of Jay-Z, but by then like he had already amassed like, you know, so many good songs, and the songs are real. Like the songs are maybe with Drake the issue is like all of it is ego with him. Like with Jay-Z, you can see that is a guy who genuinely had to work his way up from nothing. That, you know, that created an empire and created art from nothing, and that he really you can tell he has a lot of heart and a lot of soul, and he really reflects like a struggled life. Like nothing came easy to him, and even if you go like by lyrics, also like name one song that Drake has that is like lyrically better than like Jay-Z's top 25. You just can't. He's not a better lyricist. And also Drake has some of the fucking wackest beats I have. At some, he needs to find someone to work with that like reflects his style, that he can work with exclusively. Like some of these beats are like straight up a fucking joke. Like oh yeah, I'll fucking kill that. Like do. Yeah, I'll rap on that. I'll rap on that, and it's just that on a loop, like the whole fucking song. And like it's good that he can create so freely, and that you can give him anything, and that. But I mean, like, you know, you have enough money to find a solid producer to do your shit. Like you shouldn't settle for these like very simple ass beats. Like you know, you don't need to do that. Well, maybe he does, I don't know, but that's my take anyways. No Drake hate, but like, I mean, like, don't compare him with Jay-Z, just like I would say, you know, don't compare Jay-Z to fucking Tupac, because he ain't Tupac. And that's where I'm like, I differentiate myself. Whereas, like, you know, some people think Jay-Z is like the greatest, you know, the GOAT. And, you know, honestly, he's good at making good hits, but also having like a ruggedness, and having like a soul to them that's like, and being like a very high quality lyricist, where, like, you know, it's just, we're gonna go on about this in my music takes a lot in the upcoming future, and like what I feel differentiates good from bad music. Let's not dive into it too deeply, other than to say to Trae Young with that tweet, "Get that tweet out of here." Get that trash out of here. And speaking of Twitter and tweets, I got my very first ever ban from social media. Not like permanently, but I got a 12-hour ban from Twitter, and let me throw this out there to you, and you all can tell me whether you think it was warranted or not. So, if you do recall, there was a story where this guy was on an airplane, and he was oh, excuse me, and he was sexually harassing two women. I don't know if they were stewardesses, but sexually harassed one and then the other. And then, so they had to duct tape him to his seat, because he was just a belligerent, you know, autistic fucking idiot, and he couldn't be contained, so they had to forcibly contain him. So after like I posted on one of these sites that was putting this news story out there for us to bask in, and so I said, here's the exact tweet, quote, I said, "Throw him off the plane next time," end quote. That's what got me banned from Twitter. Which it seems like that's obviously a joke. I mean, to me it seems like it's a joke, like, because if you open the plane, everyone, a lot more people than just him are going to die. I wasn't actually say, like, I mean, it would be silly to think that I'm serious about that. Meanwhile, Twitter, if you fucking scroll through, you'll see a shit ton of proud anti-vaccination banter going about on Twitter, which is actually costing real lives here. Okay, so it kind of seems like Twitter's maybe overcompensating a bit for the fact that they're not really doing all that much about anti-vax propaganda, which is leaving people, which is killing a lot of people. I mean, so you can have somebody, say, "Oh, I don't take the vax, it's my body, I do what I want," and that's okay, which by the way, is leading to a modern genocide, which is killing millions, which has killed millions of people worldwide. But me, jokingly, him serious. He was serious about that shit. Now me, jokingly, saying to throw him off next time. Ha 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 ha. Obviously, it's a joke. I'm joking about that, and it's fucking clear as now. That's the issue. Why are we doing this? Is it like, more than 3 people with a blue check mark believe are hardcore anti-vaxxers? So I guess Twitter, they, with their hands are tied. 3 blue check marks are fucking hardcore anti-vaccination. Is like, well, okay, let's avoid that. Oh, this blue check mark made a clear joke about throwing someone off a plane, which is clearly not even possible. So let's ban them. Just feels like Twitter might be overcompensating a little bit to contributing to millions of deaths by allowing fervent anti-vaccination materials to spread. Now, do you want to be even more confused about trying to get a feel for my mindset? Well, let me drop this doozy on you. Okay, so we recently had Trudeau announce that he is calling an election. Now, what a time to do such a thing. But, I guess he just couldn't resist the opportunity to go against a guy in a turban and a conservative that most people would confuse with a slate of drywall. So, those kind of odds to get a majority government, he just couldn't turn down during the fourth wave. Get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. Hey, cases are going up and everything. Well, Trudeau just couldn't turn down the opportunity to go against Guy in Turban and conservative nobody can remember. Those are some good fucking odds. So, you kind of get it from his point of view, but from a rational humanist, which he pretends to be a fucking do-gooder liberal, but regardless, no, we have to have this election. Now, the prospect of credit where credit is due to my American brothers and sisters. They did it right as far as fixed term limits are concerned, because the prospect of having Trudeau, or anybody for that matter, in the highest public office for 20 plus years is fucking frightening. You guys had to deal with Trump, but the most you were possibly gonna have to deal with him for was 8 years. I might have to deal with Trudeau for fucking 25. That is an offense to democracy, and it should not be tolerated. And checkmark, credit where credit is due. That's where fucking Americans got it right. And now going back to where I was telling you, I'm really gonna get you confused and twisted with how I intend to vote this election. Now, based on me and what you know about me so far, and the fact that I'm a vaccinated individual, and the fact that that I personally feel that if you do not have a good reason to be vaccinated, if you do not have a good reason to not be vaccinated, if you do not have a good reason to not be vaccinated, that you should be vaccinated. That just saying it's my body and it's my choice is not a good enough reason, and it's a little sociopathic, if I may use a very selective, pull out a fucking selective word from the word jar. I think it's very sociopathic to not be vaccinated if you do not have a major underlying health concern, immunocompromised, severely allergenic, etc., etc. If you do not fall under those categories, or if you do not have severe allergic reactions to vaccines in the past, that it is a little on the apathetic and sociopathic side of the ledger. It is not simply just I'm choosing something that is my body. I do what I want. I don't give a fuck about a lot of things, but I think that in a nutshell, that if you're not getting vaccinated and you don't have a really good reason, that I don't get it. But that being said, so who would you think I would vote for with knowing this pretense? Now, you might say, maybe I would vote NDP, or maybe I would vote Liberal, or maybe even, hey, you want to vote Conservative, but none of the above. When we're eligible to vote in September 20th or 22nd or whatever, I will be voting for the PPC, for the People's Party of Canada. What? No, I know, right? Maxime Bernier is kind of anti-vaccination and anti-mask, etc. It's like the COVID issue. Here's how I sum it up: is that the COVID issue is not the number one issue for me. Personally, I think that none of the political parties have got COVID right. So, as confusing as it sounds, if I am given the choice of options that I have, we're eventually either gonna get rid of COVID, or we're gonna have to live with it. There's no two other ways. And at the rate we're going, and as predicted here on the World According to Kyle podcast, maybe it was like number 3 or number 2, I said that people are getting a little too optimistic about this vaccine rollout, and the fact that it's gonna fucking cure everything. And I said that there's gonna be maybe just enough people who are not gonna get it, that it's gonna fuck things up. And who knows? Maybe with since they're talking about vaccine boosters and coming up with boosters, that who knows? Maybe the Delta variant will spread so much that the prior shots won't matter. And yes, I will get the booster if it comes out, as long as it's an mRNA vaccine. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with putting a synthetic protein in my body. If we're talking about like an actual like virus, or putting in like scant amounts of an actual virus, then maybe, right. But if it's mRNA, I don't have any issues with that. No, I'm not gonna be using fucking horse tranquilizer or whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck they're using, unless, hey, if it gets rid of COVID, if that's a difference between fucking getting this shit out of the world completely and going on to norm, then I'll fucking do it. I guarantee you. But so I just don't think that it's going anywhere. Liberals have fucked this up. Conservatives have fucked this up. Every ledger down the aisle has not been right about how to handle COVID. So that's going to be the number one issue in voting for a lot of people. But it's not going to be for me, because I realize that everybody tanked this. Okay, nobody had the right solution, and especially in Canada, none of the everything that we were doing was so reactionary. There was no plan. All we're doing is reacting to higher numbers. We're not going in with plans. So to kind of to have like a make or break of the election on specifically COVID is a little stupid, because there's nobody that's really getting this situation correct. But why I am voting for Maxime Bernier of the People's Party of Canada is because at his core issues, aside from not being vaccinated and not wearing a mask, at his core, I think he has the correct vision for Canada going forward. He wants to have a more he wants to be open for business. He wants to have less taxes. He wants Canada to compete with America in a business sense, and to not have the government control every little aspect of our lives through bureaucracy and red tape. He those are the now. You want to talk about COVID? Fine. You want to talk about whatever gripe you have with him. Those are at their heart core issues which are negatively affecting Canada. Is the red tape and bureaucracy and bureaucrats fucking everything up. And besides that, I had this discussion with someone the other day. Is that when we vote for these people, Doug Ford, Trudeau, they can all be overturned by these by the people that they hired in the positions. So, you're not actually, so when you're voting for somebody with a platform, they can get overrun by the chief medical health advisor. They can get overrun by, like, I don't want to vote for people, for the face that's telling me what the fuck I'm gonna do. I want to vote for the person that actually has the power to do it. Doesn't that make more sense? I mean, I know politics is kind of outdated, but I mean, like, for somebody like Trudeau is the leader of the country, and he's the highest office in the country, and so what does that even mean if he has to be subservient to crazy cat lady Davila on every little thing she has to say about the coronavirus? Now, that is something that is an issue with me, and those are things like I think Maxime Bernier will go against very hard. All of our tax dollars that are funding the CBC and these shitty fucking television and radio shows, that your tax dollars are going towards propagandizing you. Okay? That needs to be cut out of the fucking system. That needs to go. In order for Canada to prosper. The major issue with Canada right now is that we are not business friendly. And that the major issue why all these businesses flock to America is because they have a lower tax rate and that they're treated more fairly. What the fuck, if I owned like a major company, why would you want to fucking build it here? So you can get reamed like 50% in taxes and have your profits taken away from you, so that the government in turn can tell you, so bureaucrats can tell you exactly how to run your business and force you to comply with standards. Who do you think knows better about a business? The owners or the fucking bureaucrats elected by the government? Now, that is a core issue for me, and Maxime Bernier is the only one fighting against that. Now, I did vote for Doug Ford. I did not vote for the People's Party of Canada premiership. Simply for one reason, is that I wanted to make sure Kathleen Wynne didn't get elected. Could you imagine going through coronavirus with fucking Kathleen Wynne as our premier? No thanks. And every party in Canada, Conservatives included, are in favor of high taxes, high red tape, high bureaucracy, and that's just something that Canada needs to be competing with America. And if we want to stay America's fucking bitch and America's retarded cousin in the north, then keep on doing what we're doing and giving money to all these fucking useless Ministry of Shenanigans and Ministry of Cultural Diversity and Ministry of fucking this, that, and the other. All these useless fucking positions. How about instead just having entrepreneurs be able to do whatever the fuck they want? Here's something to chew on. It's like Yahoo could have been the next Google, except they had to pay fucking all the money in taxes that they do. Maybe fucking there's like the D-Wave company, the quantum computer company out in BC. See, what's going to happen with them is that they're either going to have to move to the States, or they're going to get 25% more of their profits sucked from them from the government, and they're able to innovate less and create less. We need to be better for business. We need to be at least put them on the same level as everybody else getting taxed. Don't put somebody on a higher tax bracket just because they make more. It's crazy. And the NDP are fucking top nut jobs with this. Jagmeet Singh just announced that he wants to have a 75% capital gains tax, which is insane. We already have a 50% capital gains tax. So if you don't know, if you have an asset and you sell it, and you sell it for more, that is called a capital gain. So what Jagmeet Singh is doing is, so he says he's doing this in order to fight against what's it called? People who are like buying tons of properties and flipping them, like say, you know, people who come here, rich billionaires in other country come here and they buy up shit tons of properties, and then they flip them immediately, or flip tons of them and make tons of capital gain money. But if you're having a 75% capital gains tax, guess who that also affects? Crypto and stock traders, which I am both. And if Jagmeet Singh gets in office and he's trying to tax, and I'm trying to get 75% tax rate on my capital gains that I made with crypto, and I'm off to the fucking Caymans. You will never, if I made a shit ton of money and they're trying to tax me 75% on my capital gains. Canada, you will never fucking see me again. So, so vote accordingly. Maybe you want that. Maybe you want me out of here. So, an NDP vote might be something that you might desire to do to get me the fuck out of here. Maybe that's your core issue. Maybe your core issue is getting fucking the world according to Kyle the fuck out of Canada. Which, can't really blame you. Haters gonna hate. What else is here? What else do I have to go on? Now, I just want to say something really quick. Is that a quick little tidbit of advice to anybody who I'm dealing with is that I have benefited from once having lived with nothing, also known as rock bottom. So there's no way you can coerce anybody into doing what you want by threatening to take petty material things away from them. Like, say, if you are in a relationship or a roommate or a friend or something. Somebody who has once hit rock bottom, that is a benefit from having hit rock bottom, is that nobody in the world can coerce me into doing what I want or doing what they want me to do by threatening to not give me something. It's like I have been at rock bottom. I have lived with nothing. There's nothing you can give or take from me that is going to sway me. That is going to sway me either way. So that is a benefit of having once lived with nothing, of having hit rock bottom. Now, Here is a group of people that need to hit rock bottom faster, that maybe they think they've bottomed out, but they're not. Is that, now I'll preface this by saying that I am a weed smoker. I do enjoy the herb, but I don't think it like, I'm not a cliche stoner type. I do not like waste away in a couch fucking playing video games or watching Netflix. I just think it enhances what I use it to enhance whatever I'm doing. And it's not a detriment to how I operate. It just gives me a little it just is a stimulant almost. It just makes me feel better about whatever mundane task I'm doing. But I'm starting to have a little gripe with certain types of people who are just addicted to weed, and like are so addicted to weed that they can't live without it on a day-to-day basis, and they are genuine, melt in the couch fucking stoners who, like, are carrying their bongs around with them and who need to destroy their lungs in order to get high because they've had THC rolling through their system on a daily basis since, like, grade 8. Take a fucking break for a little bit. Either that, or there's nothing that's more fucking pathetic than somebody who shows crackhead tendencies with marijuana. Like, am I wrong here? Is there, like, I would almost prefer somebody to get a real hardcore drug addiction and hit rock bottom instead of, like, miserably and oafishly going through life in this kind of semi-comatose zombie-like state because they constantly need to stay high and they constantly need to smoke in harsher ways and higher quantities. Like, if you're spending fucking $500 a month on weed, and if you need to collapse your lung and fucking, if you're choking your fucking guts out after you and if you can only get high by doing that, fucking get a real addiction, man. There's nothing more pathetic than a fucking pothead who exhibits, like, crackhead like tendencies with pot. It's just absolutely one of the most fucking pathetic things that I have ever personally seen in my life. It's like that half-baked thing. It's like, this man's a fraud. Boo this man. Boo. I used to suck dick for coke. Boo. That's what you are. It's like, grow up, get a real addiction. Pot is not an addiction. And if it's fucking costing you fucking $500 a month, if you're coughing your lungs out, just take a fucking break for a month. Get the THC out of your fucking system and then start back up again. It's not that hard. I've done it before. I've gone years with smoking pot every day, and then all of a sudden, oh hey, I'm out. I don't have a job now, and just time to quit. And, like, holy shit, is like, man, next time I smoke, wow, I do get high. You don't need to smoke it every day. And if you're at the point where it's like, oh, well, yeah, it helps me from, like, going nuts on people and get a real drug addiction. Hit rock bottom faster, and then, oh, hey, all this, oh, wait, hey, now that I have nothing, maybe all this, addictive behavior and all this chemical dependency is, like, really in my own head, and I'm actually harming myself more than I'm doing good because I have a chemical maybe you will start to realize these things once you've done harder drugs. And I hate to advise that, but I mean, it's probably better than going through life like a fucking semi-comatose fucking zombie for the next 20 to 30 years. Take your chances, fucking roll the dice. Hopefully you don't die and get a real fucking addiction. End of story. Next on the docket. I've been having fucking really vivid dreams lately. And normally, like, I forget all my dreams. Like, normally I just, like, I don't even remember them. But I'm, like, recently is, like, weird. I've been just remembering, like, all my dreams are just, I've just been, like, incredibly vivid. And I've been just, I just, like, I don't want to get up almost. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm having fun in in dreamland. And, I'm not the type of person who derives anything, like, from, or I think dreams have meaning. I think people search too much for meaning in everything and not just accept that things are just there, and like I don't I would not have been very very acceptant of of Freudian wanting to fuck your mom like philosophy, but so this one dream that I had, it was like a really crazy. Okay, so like so there was a ghost that was and it wasn't like visible or anything, but it was like it was there, it was a presence, it was an entity, and so there was all these things happening around me. And okay, in my dreams, I always know the place that I'm in. Okay, I always know where, like, say it's like, okay, so say for example, like, I know I'm in Calgary in my dream, right? But it looks nothing like Calgary. Like, it's like very the buildings are always connected. It's a very communal type of living where you just kind of wander like in and out of buildings, and you don't really go on the streets, and like it's weird. It's a very like in all my dreams, like I know that this place is this place, but it's not. Like, it doesn't like it doesn't look like it, like in any of my like visions or interpretations of it, but I know it's this place. It's almost like a it almost feels like a futuristic version of that place. Like, I know I'm in Calgary, I know I'm in Toronto, but it doesn't look anything like it looks today. All right, so I'm in this like a building. It's like almost like a warehouse type of building, and I'm with a group of people, and like things keep happening to drop people from the group away, and they're not being killed or anything. They're just like, okay, all of a sudden this blast door closes, and then there was there was 10 of us, and this blast door closes, separating 7 from the 3, and I'm part of the 7. And then we go to the next room, and then someone else decides to check out another room, and then they get locked out, right? So eventually everybody gets isolated away from me, right? And then after I'm the only person in the room, then the ghost reveals. It doesn't reveal itself, but it brings me something, like because I can't see it, so it doesn't reveal itself. But I know its presence because it came and like brought me something, and it wanted me to help it perform a task and like fix this like this weird engine, this engine sort of thing, and like was so it was so trippy. It was so weird. Like, I love these crazy dreams that seem so realistic, and you just. But does anybody else have that, where it's like where the places you are in your dreams are like it looks nothing, it resembles nothing of the place that you know, but you know it's that place. Do you guys ever have that? Like that's basically a large portion of my dreams are where I know I'm in places, and it's like a futuristic version of that place. Like, I knew I was on Yonge Street in Toronto, but it was like such a like an interconnected like buildings and interconnected like communities where like you just kind of like you just go wherever you please, and the buildings are huge, and they have elevators, and they go so high, and I don't know, it's just there's very specific things about dreams that, and I always like with my dreams, like they're always I always have it's always the good, the like the best possible version of well, sometimes it's like a version of humanity that's like perfected sometimes. Like when say when like some shit's about to go down, when somebody's about to act out, or when somebody is a little on the edge. In my dreams, like when there's people, when there's a community, everybody goes against that person, and immediately their intuition to detect and attack against a rogue a rogue psychopath or something is just like spot on. Like if anybody is like does anything wrong, it's like we all have this, instead of like people a lot of people ignoring it, or is like, oh hey, they're not fucking with me, we immediately everybody groups up and attacks the person who is trying to harm another, or the group or something. So that's kind of that's kind of like a mainstay in my dreams also, which is kind of crazy. Now it's almost been an hour, and plus we have an hour. So okay, let's finish off on this. Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 musicians where their worst song is played on the radio. So 5 music artists that their absolute worst song is the one that's played the most on the radio. All right, so we'll finish this off with finish off this TWA2K with a nice little list. Here are the 5 musicians that have their worst song as their radio hit. Radiohead with Creep. Now, you can go through Radiohead's catalog, and I'm sure you will come to the same conclusion. And now, right now, for instance, I have an MP3 player. I have like 75 Radiohead songs on there. Creep is not one of them. There's so much good shit by them. Like fuck, I'm not even gonna bother naming like the 25 amazing Radiohead songs. Just Creep is their worst song, and it is played the most on the radio. I don't know. The number 2 of this list. There's no particular order, by the way. Bruce Springsteen. They always play Dancing in the Dark by fucking Bruce Springsteen. What other song have you heard the radio play by Bruce Springsteen that's not Dancing in the Dark? They don't play Jungle Land. They don't play Born in the USA. They don't play 10th Avenue Freeze Up. They don't play Rosalita. Like, come on, man. Like, they play, like, it is, like, maybe you want to parse out some of his, like, okay, like, really crappy, but I'm talking about, like, of his, like, notable hits. You're gonna say, oh, yeah, Dancing in the Dark? Are you fucking kidding me? That Spirited in the Night. What about that? Fuck, man. Like, what? Like, why do you play this song? It is his, by far, shittiest, even if you don't want to say it's his shittiest song, it's by far his worst hit single. Don't understand it. Another one. So, number 3, in no particular order, Portugal the Man. They play Feel It Still all the time. Now, I am a huge Portugal the Man fan. In fact, I was talking about recently having seen one of their like online concerts when we were in the thick of the demic, and really enjoying it. But Portugal the Man, Feel It Still, is by far one of their worst songs, and it's catchy and it's good and it's like. But it's not like it's not Great Portugal the Man. Now, Great Portugal the Man is like Sleep Forever. Great Portugal the Man is So American. Great Portugal the Man is Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue. Great Portugal the Man is number 1. Great Portugal the Man is AKA M80 the Wolf. none of which you hear on the radio. You only keep hearing this shitty. I don't even want to call it shitty because it's still a good song. It's not a bad song, and it's a fun song, and it's but it's their worst song. It's like of their hits. It's one of their worst hits. Next one, number 4, 9 Inch Nails. They only play Head Like a Hole, which is a extreme disservice to the amount of incredible 9 Inch Nails songs there are. Which, if you go through the catalog, it's vast, and like there's argument over which one of their albums is the best. Now, I am one of the few people that think Year Zero is absolutely incredible 9 Inch Nails. That Year Zero is front to back my favorite album by the 9 Inch Nails, and you don't hear a lot of people say this. You'll hear Pretty Hate Machine. You'll hear Downward Spiral. You hear some people say The Fragile. By far, I love Year Zero, and I think it's not one of those things where I think like you're crazy for having a take either way, but I think Year Zero is just such authentic 9 Inch Nails at its core. The Great Destroyer, Capital G, Hyperpower, Me I'm Not, and it's so so electronic and so hard and so like, and not that Head Like a Hole is a fucking bad song. Like, it's a great song, but like, man, it's such a disservice to 9 Inch Nails. And of these 5 that I'm listing, the Head Like a Hole song is like the least worst song of these of this bunch, but it's just an extreme disservice to 9 Inch Nails. Like, they have like 50 good songs. All these artists that I'm talking about have like at least 50 high quality songs, and you only hear one on the radio because it's the most radio friendly. Like, I mean, like, so they don't play, like what we were talking about before, Bruce Springsteen. Like, they don't play Jungle Land on the radio because it's like a 7-minute long song. Well, 7-minute long songs also happen to be great songs. You can't. How can you make a great song if you're 3 minutes and 5 seconds? Chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, done. Like, you can't, like, music and art is about breaking conventions and breaking structures. It's not about falling into them, and that's why you don't hear any great music on the radio. And the fifth musician who has the radio has done a incredible disservice to them by only playing select one song is Nirvana and Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, they play Lithium. It's like, well, I know. But there's a couple other songs they play by Nirvana, like Man Who Sold the World. But I just think it's a huge disservice to Nirvana if you go through their entire catalog and you don't think like anything else is great besides those 2 songs, or worthy of being played a lot besides those 2 songs. Like, Incesticide is my favorite album by Nirvana, and they have, and that album front to back is fucking incredible, and it's like so authentic and so like Nirvana. It's like, you know, the Hairspray Queen, like Mexican seafood. Like, I mean, and these are all I know why it's done, and that the radio has to have its radio friendly songs, but hey, that's why the radio fucking sucks, and that's why, and just another reason why you shouldn't listen to the radio, and why if you listen to the radio or like a particular radio station over another, that I really question your music intelligence. It just shows that you're not deep diving and you don't really like the artists that you say you like. You just like them, like their surface, or like the surface stuff, and like the stuff they give to you on the commercials. Like when I was a DJ and like playing all these, like, you know, all these lesser known singles from artists, like people's minds are blown. It's like, whoa, man, this sounds really great. It's like, yeah, man. It's like, you know, when you find someone that has a good couple songs, like, you go through it. You go through it, and don't call me a stan for that, because you would be incorrectly using that word. But I'm just a fan of people that make great music. And if you're good, I am probably not a fan of you if your best songs are your hits. If you have like a lot of other good to great songs that aren't your hits, if your best songs are not your radio friendly hits, I am probably a fan of your work. So that's it. I gotta get to watching my football game. Go UNC -5.5. I hope you guys have a good month of September, and that, everybody, was the World According to Kyle podcast. Take care, y'all.